right, we're gonna bring Jade up. So while Jade comes up, let me talk her up a little bit.
She's already coming up.
Here she comes. Hey girl, hey.
Come on, Stan. Come on, hey.
Come on, bro. I love it.
I'll make you stand up for the whole fit because I don't. You know how Zoom interviews go. You don't know what's on the bottom.
No.
It's nothing going down at the bottom. We're here up.
From the top up.
COVID meeting.
Yes.
The COVID meetings. So Jade is a fellow 400-meter diva.
Yes.
Competitor / teammate. She went to that other USC.
The main USC, but okay.
The USC. She is a 400-meter hurdler convert to the 400. So we'll talk a little bit about that. 2019 World Relay silver medalist. Also a actor, model, and graphic designer. But the biggest thing that I didn't know. First of all, Jade, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're hanging in.
Where are you right now?
I'm in California. I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay. All right. Thanks for
So
joining.
you can excuse the background. We literally just moved this month, maybe a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's very early over there, so thank you for doing this.
Oh, of course.
I up on game yesterday because I was
let me tell the story. So first of all, I've known you. We've been competing against each other for a few years now.
Mm-hmm.
I've known Miss Sheffield, LaTanya Sheffield. I've known that she's your coach. Miss Sheffield was one of the coaches on, I don't remember what team. I feel like she's been a coach on a few teams.
She's at Tokyo.
She's in Tokyo right now, right?
Yeah.
Girl, I didn't know that was your mama.
Never? This whole time?
Together all the time. I know she's your coach. I know Coach Sheffield. I know Jade. I know she's your coach. I said,
and I could be like, Natasha, how do you know? And she was like, no, that's not. And I was like,
that's not her mom.
Oh yeah.
Jade, I have because we're actually family because I know everyone, but I actually really because I went to school with her sister. I was teammates with her sister, and so sometimes I call her Kayla, but like she comes from a family. They do this.
Yes. So as you can see, too, Coach Sheffield, LaTanya Sheffield, broke records and defied expectations. She was also a 400 hurdler, and the American record holder at one point, right?
Yeah. I believe she actually broke it while she was in college.
Yep. Mm-hmm. See, excellence is the standard here.
Yes, it is.
She got Olympian blood just like running through her veins. Like, I always am like, parents, like y'all couldn't have hooked up. Y'all would have gave me something.
I think it's so funny because even when I went to the 2019 Pan Ams in Lima, that was my first time being on a team with her, that like we were both there together. And so many people didn't know that she was my mom. And I feel like to an extent, I kind of do that on purpose because I do definitely distinguish, coach and mom. And when I'm at a track meet, I'm at work. So yeah, so there's that. But it's so funny because I don't think that we look alike at all. And so I feel like because of that, people don't really draw conclusions at all. So that's really funny that you didn't know.
No clue. So job well done. How long has she always coached you, or was it just after you graduated?
Yeah, so she was the coach at my high school and like with my club team and stuff. So I did USATF, like club track. And so she was the coach there and then at my high school. And then when I went to college, I, had my coaches in college. And then after I graduated, I went back and trained with her. So I've been training with her as a professional since 2016.
Okay. And so because we talked about this in terms of like husband being coach, right? Boyfriend being coach. How does it work? Mom not only being coach, but mom, American record holder, like excellence is the standard. How do we do this at the track and then go home and still be mom and daughter and I don't hate you and want to fight you? Because let me tell you, my mom and dad, no.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But
so I need the tea.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say that because I've had that dynamic with her for so long, since I was in high school and even before that doing like youth track, it's been very natural to me and just kind of like, oh yeah, this is just how it goes, like you're just trained by your mom, like that's just what it is. And so that was kind of the standard set for me. So it's never really been super weird, but we've just been really good at, keeping coach and mom very separate. And so, because of all her accolades, because of her experience, and then just the way that she can inspire people and the way that she talks and all of that, it makes it so that I have 1000% trust in her as an athlete. And I feel like that's one huge thing that you have to have if you want to be successful with any coach. And so I think I actually have the benefit of knowing that there's literally nothing that she will do to try to sabotage me, to try to, not have my best interests at heart. And so, when she tells me to run these 500s, I'm like, I don't know about it, but I know she's not trying to come for me. I know it's probably a good thing.
But it's in love.
Yes, exactly. And then when we go home, she's really goofy and having fun, and it's like, okay, so when am I gonna have grandkids? And I'm like, when you stop having goals for me. What do you mean, coach?
Okay.
So, we play around and all that kind of stuff, but for the most part, we try to keep it pretty separate. And I think we've been really successful. I call her coach on the track, and I call her mommy at home.
Oh, okay. I love that.
And I feel like we've both experienced your mom, and like your mom is actually like
the bomb.
I'm like, because I've always
your
said,
uncle too, because your mom's brother, he was the coach on the 2012 indoor team that I was on. So just excellence is the standard.
But like I feel like I've always said like I could get coached by LaTonya Sheffield like because of the vibe she has. And your uncle, he was the coach
Ron Sheffield.
Sheffield
yes.
was the coach of my like first youth team. And I still what he would do is he would print out quotes and put it on your door.
Yeah, he did that.
I still have them. For 10 years, I still have them in my house, and it moves with me because I was like,
I imagine he did that for you too.
Yeah, I would say to an extent. I've never had a quote on my door, but I'll definitely get one. A little text message here and there. So he got all the quotes. He's on deck with the quotes for sure.
Love it.
I feel like both of them are just so good at inspiring.
Yes, they are. They really are motivating, inspiring. Your mom was even talking to me this year on the road with me, like coming back from mommyhood and like.
Love her.
Yeah.
This is about you, but like, and she knows that.
Yeah.
Like, girl, you're not done. You need to come back. You just had that baby, and
the thing is, she can say it because she's done it. And
Yeah.
also, I just feel like my relation I have with my coach is like I know my coach loves me down, and like there's nothing he wouldn't do for me. And I'm like, to have your mom, like I know, like she's gonna fight for you every step of the way.
Yeah.
And you're right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, here at Track Girl Summer, we like to bring the culture to track and field. So we're going to segue out of track, and we're going to talk a little bit about Jaide, the person, because there's so much awesome things going on, right? So I don't know how you do it. I think I'm busy, but I'm reading this stuff. So actor, model, graphic designer.
Booked and busy.
Booked and busy. You currently work for, was it Ruggably that you do their graphic design?
Yeah, it's Ruggable. I'm a senior graphic designer there.
Senior.
All while training for the trials in a parallelogram. Like, you also got married. But so I wanted to spend some time talking about this, right? Because I saw one of your posts on Instagram. 7 a.m. practice.
Yeah.
9 a.m. work. Then you lift on your lunch break on your balcony.
Mm-hmm.
Then you work till 6 p.m. Then when you get off, you do freelance work and make time for your husband and just life, period. Like,
I'm a hustler, baby.
Yeah. It definitely is a hustle. Things need to be on time. Luckily, I'm very organized and, kind of stick to my schedule. But that's kind of what it's have to been for me. Like when I graduated from USC, I went pro, but I didn't necessarily get signed. And so it's like, well, hey, track isn't cheap. Like who's going to pay for all these trips around the world that you go on? And that was me. And so I've had to work ever since. So honestly, I'm really blessed that I did get the job at Ruggable actually last year in the middle of the parallelogram. And it was, and so I just have been working there for a year now. And just to be able to have something that has a steady income and benefits and all those different things, like such a blessing. So, I will make time for that because it allows me to, one, invest in myself and my dreams as an artist, but it also allows me to basically fund my dreams, as a track athlete. And so, you make it work if that's what you want to do. and you just figure out how to make it work.
You're doing so many things at once because Corey and I, and just in track in general, in sports in general, we talk about how much competing in sports is almost like you're living your dream, but you're also putting off the rest of your life the
For
longer
sure.
that you do this. Because we all know we can't run forever, and we all we won't be able. That very few of us will be able to live off of this when we retire from this. So you're already started on your career. Excellence is the standard. Like, I'm not going to put this off anymore, but I can do both at the same time and be great at it.
Here's my thing. After a hard workout, and you are 400,
Can't imagine.
and like my brain doesn't work, like
exactly.
And so when I come home,
brain
like
fog.
Bravo is like, girl, we ain't even got no more shows because I like to watch shows because I don't have to think. And like, I just want to lay down and not think. And the fact that you go to practice and go straight to like your job, I have no idea because I know my body like needs time to like recover and just like in order for me to function and get ready for the next day because I'm gonna get killed again. So how
I think honestly, when just kind of my personality or just I don't know, but when I have to do something, when I know that there's a deadline or I know that there's something else that I have to do, I'm really able to just will myself and get it done. And how you guys said, excellence is the standard. So if I'm going to get it done, I don't want to get it done in a janky way or like, ooh, I just skirted by. Like, I want to get it done in the best way that I can. And so I would say, honestly, like it's even helped out in training because I remember there were times that, you have short recovery and say maybe the recovery for certain runs is supposed to be, 6 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever. But I'm checking the clock like, hey, I got to go. And I'm like, coach, can we cut this recovery to 90 seconds because I have to go. And so,
yes. I need every second. I need every second.
What?
Yeah. So, I mean, that definitely sucks, but I feel like it's made me so much stronger because I've been able to do stuff that I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't even think I'd be able to finish the line cross the line with 90 seconds recovery. But now I know I could do so much more if, my paycheck's on the line.
So what I'm hearing, and because I asked you how are you going to do it, and like you gave this long answer, but like to summarize, Jaide is better than us. Jaide is better than us. That's fine. Like I accept it. Like you said, actually, just better.
Not quite, but I figure it out. I'll say that I figure it out. On paper, it doesn't really make sense, but somehow I figure it out. So I'm really thankful for that.
Hey, hard work is easy work. Like,
yeah, that's how you got to approach it.
Black girl magic, black excellence is standard, all of the things.
Can we talk about the one thing that got me through the quarantine?
This wedding at the Fairmont.
Yeah.
We're gonna pictures.
Gorgeous. I hope we have some pictures on.
I made sure we had them
on the lineup. First of all, I love that you walk down the aisle in your beautiful fro.
Thank you.
Through, and I appreciated. See, look at that.
Are we able to click in to like zoom in on?
Just gorgeous. Is there any way that we can make?
Oh no, we can't. Okay,
sorry.
never mind. We tested it out. I want to finish the clavicle, but it's fine.
Absolutely stunning, and I appreciated it even more after reading your post about what it felt like, just the vulnerability of like cutting your hair and feeling exposed, but then growing into loving your hair, and I feel like we're sometimes pressured, not sometimes, we are pressured into walking down the aisle in this European slick look, and it's just like, but look at how beautiful this is.
Thank you.
Look at how stunning this is.
But this definitely wasn't the plan at first, but sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying because let me tell you something. Jay was like, first of all, she did, you did like, you were able to zoom your wedding to different people, which I love. But then she was like, for those of you who weren't able to attend my wedding due to this panini. And it was like, she just kept hitting us on Instagram, was like, and here's the venue, and here's my every day I'd be like, live. And it was so good. It was such a beautiful and like intimate ceremony, but you could just talk about it because
tell
I
us
loved
about
it.
The day. Tell us about your engagement story. Tell us a little bit about your husband.
And planning a wedding in a pandemic and having to.
Yeah, so we actually met. We both went to USC. We were in the same recruiting class, so we started dating in 2013. So we had been dating for a while, and he would always like come because he's from the East Coast. His name is Aaron, and so he's from the East Coast. So for certain holidays, he would actually come with our family because we were only driving to Arizona for the weekend versus it would take him all weekend to fly to the East Coast and then fly back home. So we got in the habit of him coming down to Arizona for Thanksgivings, and our family definitely does it big for Thanksgiving every single year, minus last year, but whatever. So yeah, so we do that, and so he came down, and what we started doing is called the Turkey Lounge, and so basically everybody, whoever has whatever kind of talents they have, or poems, or whatever it is, and they go and they basically just present their talents or just express their thanks or whatever, and it's like really fun and lighthearted, and sometimes it's really serious because just extended family being able to feel that love, like people are really appreciative. So for the first time, he's always been talking for years that he wanted his parents to come down, and so for the first time they were going to come down. That was in 2018, and he was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna prepare something for the Turkey Lounge, just recognize that my parents are here and this and that." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, great, that sounds good." But when he goes into something, he's like in it 1000%, and so he's like on his iPad and doing all this stuff and making a slideshow, all these different things. And I was like, bro, it's not that serious. It's just, get up there, say thank you, and sit down. And so essentially he went up there. He was like, "Hey, Jade, can you hold the slideshow for me, like as I talk about it?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." So I went up there, and it's called an acrostic poem. And basically it's like using the first letter of each line spells out something. And so he put together this poem.
Poem.
Yeah, and so it spelled out my first name with his last name, and obviously at the end he asked for my hand in marriage, and you couldn't even hear me say yes because everybody in the room, it was like 60 people in there, everybody screamed and said yes because they've been waiting on it. So there was
we don't even need you to end. You gonna marry this man.
Yes, exactly. Like literally, he couldn't even get the words out. Like everybody was just so loud. That's not how the proposal's supposed to go. But it was really fun, and it was awesome to have my family around. And he specifically planned it for that because he knows that I'm such a family person, and so he knew that's who I would want to be around. And then when we drove back home, he had planned a surprise party, like engagement party with all of my friends at my apartment, actually. So the whole thing, he handled it for sure. And so we were like, okay, cool. Like,
but he got any friends?
Yeah, actually, he has two brothers, and his first brother or his middle brother got married the year before us, and then his oldest brother just got married in May. So
that don't help me.
My cheeks I'm smiling so much.
Right. That is so romantic, thoughtful, all of the things. Like I can't even. So was your family in on it, or was it a surprise to everybody?
My sister was in on it. I think my sister's actually the first person that he told that was his game plan. So she had all the pictures on deck. And then both of my parents knew, and he actually asked them like for their blessing. We went to the Brussels Diamond League. It was a final, and that was his first time coming to a track meet, coming overseas, all of that. And so they were on the same flight back. And on that, 10-hour flight, he's like, "Hey, so by the way, I was thinking maybe I could marry your daughter." And they made him wait literally the whole flight all the way until they dropped him back off at his home in LA. They're so trifling for that.
You gotta make the young man sweat a little bit. I'm with it. I think that was the right move. I think that great sense of intuition and authority. This love, supreme, unconditional, Ace of Cups, divine. Yes, Alba, agree. I love it.
So you get engaged, and you're planning a wedding, and
the pandemic hits. Like, how did we like navigate through that? Tell us about that.
So we had originally planned to have this like big old wedding. He was trying to kind of keep it small, and I was like, I want to invite everyone. So 200 plus wedding at a vineyard, and so we had everything planned out. And then the pandemic hit, and it was like, okay, October we're good to go, because it was at that point January. And then we're like, all right, it's cool. It's March. Everything's shutting down, but it's cool. And then what was this, May, and we're like, all right, it's all good. And then we got to August and we're like, okay, we need a refund at this point. And so we had to actually wait because we had put all our deposits down, and none of our main vendor, the venue, wouldn't actually give us a refund until 2 months before, and because everything was just changing so quickly. And so we had to literally wait until then. We couldn't plan anything else. We weren't really sure what we were going to do. Just the whole goal was to get your money back, because I've heard so many people who were not able to. And so luckily we were. And then at that point we sat and talked and we're like, okay, well, should we postpone it, or like, what do you want to do? And after talking to family and also just talking to us too, it was just like, hey, we've been waiting a long time. We've been engaged for 2 years now. Like, we don't know when the pandemic is going to be over and when we can gather. So like, let's just do it. And
Right.
so we decided to do it. And I was doing research and all that. Honestly, I was just looking for a place to like go on a trip because I assumed that we weren't going to have it. And that's when I saw the Fairmont. I was like, oh, this will be super nice to take a really nice trip that weekend. And then it turned out that we were going to have the wedding. And then I called them and was like, hey, are you guys doing weddings? And they're like, actually, you're going to be the first one since we've reopened. And so that was cool. And then I talked to the wedding coordinator. She said that there could only be, they had like a 10-person maximum. And so it was like taking a 200 guest list to 10, like, really sucked. But
it's bad, but
yeah. Yeah, so it was so hard to tell my family, especially all the
invitation, but I guess I did the 10-person cut.
yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
We got the Instagram photos.
I did, and that's
came for our necks.
Yeah, so yeah, so that's what we did there. I had to tell, my extended but close family that, that they unfortunately weren't able to come. It was actually Erin's idea to have my grandmother officiate for us. So that was super cool. So we were able to ask her to be the officiant. And oh my gosh, she was beautiful. Like, nobody knew that this woman is 80 years old, like, handling it. It was her first time getting lashes, and she was so excited. After that, she's like, I've always wanted a tattoo. I'm like, okay, hold on now.
Yes!
So, but yeah, so it was just super special and like intimate. We were able to have, we were in the gazebo. And so instead of, us at the front and then everybody sitting at the back, there was only, 8 guests. So we just had everyone sitting around the gazebo and everything was like inside. We ended up, we wanted people to still be involved and letting it be a really great experience for them. So then that's when we really invested heavily into the live stream, so people could see it and so it could be a good memory. And from what I hear, it was like a reality TV show, HD, like someone was watching a movie. So that's the whole goal. That was all that we intended. So I'm happy it was a good experience for everybody. But it was so special. Afterwards, we had my mom put together like a surprise little, we thought it was just going to be a dinner, but she put together a whole surprise like reception type situation. Fun fact about Ron Sheffield is that he can sing and play the guitar, and he has a whole band, and he performed for us. My cousin sang for, like, the whole thing. It was amazing. It was like my pictures when we first walked into it. That's the one where my mouth is all the way open and got a champagne bottle laughing. That's when we first walked into it and saw this huge surprise. And we had some of my family from Arizona drove up. So it was really special.
My eyes are over here like,
y'all gonna make a thug like me cry. Like,
she ruined my dreams telling me his brothers are already married. Like,
I'm so sorry about that.
You know something? Tasha sits there. I'm like, oh, literally, men are sliding in the Track Girl Summer IG account. DMs trying to get to Natasha.
Anyway. I'm sure they're trying to get to both of y'all.
Anyway.
They're trying to get to Tasha.
Anywho, back to Jaide. This is just. I just love Black love and
her family coming together to make sure her date is perfect.
Yeah, no, they held it down for sure. Definitely.
We're still gonna make this day magical.
And it looks so.
I think you just gonna come from our necks on the social. And I'm sure you have even more. Still.
Yeah. Our photographer was amazing, and it was like very selfish of me to try to hold these to myself. So I decided I needed to share with everybody. But honestly, the hair, I had planned to, get my hair, pressed out, laid and curled and all this kind of stuff. And when it turned out that we were going to be going to San Diego, honestly, the hairstyle came because just logistically, it didn't make sense. I was like, I'm not going to pay for a stylist to come down.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I could do this myself. So I popped in a couple braids that morning. I did a wash and go, and I was like, all right, let's go for it. And it was more of an afro than curls that I had expected, but I was like, I'm good with it. Let's just go. And I'm so happy I did. I was so comfortable.
I love it.
And because you don't have to worry about sweating out on the dance floor. But also, if you like want a couple of natural haircuts, Jaide gives great tutorials on the socials.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. That like you do everything. So you mentioned earlier the actor, model, graphic designer. So tell us a little bit about your freelance work. That like the content creation is on. I'm the two content people over here. I'd be like, I'm running out of creative juices. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So
hire you.
Oh, got you. Yeah, hit me up. You got my phone number now. But yeah, so I actually studied animation in college, and so that's like kind of where I first started going into that. So I have a lot of background in like doing video and digital and all that kind of stuff. And so, honestly, that's like fun for me to do. And so I think it's really fun to be able to have these social media outlets to be able to put together these types of content and everything and get creative and all of that. And so that's kind of where that part lies. But as far as, the freelance type of work, of course, I do like different, social media partnerships, but then also I work with the USA. I work with the
and behind the camera.
Yes, exactly, in front and behind. Yeah, I work with the USA Track and Field Foundation doing graphics for them, and just like other people, I'll just like do one-off freelance type of work. And so there's that part, and then the acting, modeling part is that I'm a SAG actress, and so I'll like perform in different commercials and all of that.
Official. Excellence is just the standard, okay?
Natasha. Us.
But real casual.
No.
Real casual.
No. She told us she was better than us. She
it was real. You didn't catch the casualness of it all.
No, like it's casual because it's nothing to her.
Okay, so listen, I would say that this is also another, how I said I haven't ever been sponsored. And I would say that this is actually a plus side of it because I am able to do these partnerships with so many different companies. I've done commercials with, Nike, Asics, Delta Airlines, Ford. Like I've been able to do commercials with all of these different companies, Samsung, all of that. And, you're very limited if you have a sponsor. So.
Nicole A., I couldn't agree with you more. Jaide needs to be spotlighted in essence. I mean, these wedding posts but if you go check out her social media, her Instagram, you'll see all the greatness, all the beauty. Absolutely. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, you're good. I just realized on Instagram I'm at Jaide Steps. I think this is my Twitter that you guys have up here. Yeah. On Twitter, I only share the stuff that I've put on Instagram. So if you want everything direct, head over to Instagram at Jaide Steps.
I don't know what else. The excellence of it all.
And like she gives great track tips and training tips. Like remember how she said she on her lunch break she goes on her balcony to lift weights. She also sets up a camera and films it for y'all and creates content. I like
doing yoga, the stretches, she just does it all. So tell us what's next. Are you training for any more meets this summer?
This summer, I finished up actually a couple weeks ago in July. And so I think actually, yeah, you were there at that track meet in Irvine or Mission Viejo, something like that.
Track meet.
Oh my gosh, it was so hot. Literally, I like ran off the track the second that the race finished. My feet were on fire. Like it was so hot. I haven't experienced that since I've been, back home in Arizona. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But
ridiculous. But sorry.
Oh no, you're good. But yeah, that was my last track meet, and so now, how I said, we just moved, so luckily I don't have to be on the balcony anymore. Every time I was so scared to like drop the weight bar because I didn't want it to go through the ceiling on somebody on the cars below us, and so now I'm able to weight lift on the ground. But gonna just be unpacking and trying to get our place together and all that. So yeah, I've been eating all the bad food and ice cream and all that.
I had a whole thing of ice cream last night while we were preparing for this. I was like, Corey,
as you should.
Thing.
As you should.
Eugene next summer, right?
Yeah.
And I know we said we're done talking about track, but I feel like we.
Oh yeah, we totally skipped over you converting from the 400 hurdles.
Oh
to the
yeah.
For me, I'm a 400 hurdler. I hate the 400. Someone was like, "Hey, Corey, you can never hurdle again in your life, but like you can be a 400-meter runner." I'd be like, "And today's the day. I'm done with track and field. It's a different race. I don't like, and I know we're doing more things and it's over the same distance, but mentally, don't like it, Natasha. So how
are you not offending me?
but the thing is, I'll run a 4x4. No problem. But the open 4, no. So how did that even come about? How did you make that decision? Like, and how was that transition?
Yeah, no, so the races are totally different. They hurt different, they feel different, just everything is very different. I wouldn't say one is worse than the other, because they both have their pros and cons. But either way, it was basically that, I was doing the 400 hurdles. That was going well, but part of it is that we had that off year in, what was that, 2018, I think, where there was no championships or anything. And so I was like, well, hey, I need to work on my speed. I want to get stronger. And so we focused on the 2 and the 4. And so after doing that year, I went from being unranked in the 400 to then being ranked like 6th in the world. And that's when I went to Brussels and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, shoot, maybe I should, stay. And so then after that, I kind of just continued training there and all of that, and, got the hang of it and everything. There's still some aspects that are a little bit new to me in the 400 and like learning the race plan and all of that. I got the 400 hurdles down pat, but the 400 I'm still learning and all of that. But yeah, so it kind of just made sense to transition. So,
and I feel like at least me personally, I always saw you as someone, like, it made sense to me that you could do the 400, because I just remember in college, like, you would always be like first race out and you'd be like, I'm a blistering 400 that would stand for weeks, and I'd be like, Jade, like, we just got started, like, why so fast? It would happen like so many years, and I'd be like, Jade's first race would be like so crazy fast. And then you're just like, and now I'm going to go the 400 hurdles, and I'd be like,
pretty like to especially make that transition.
Yeah.
Now or just a couple years ago, basically, and then to be ranked so highly in the world. I mean, excellence is just the standard. I don't have anything else to say, but excellence is the standard, and I love it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you. Gosh.
We appreciate you waking up extra early. Join us.
Man, it sucks because I'm so used to training early in the morning. So I'm like always up at, 6 o'clock now. And I'm just like, all right, well, here we go. And so I've been actually able to get some stuff done around the house and do other little projects and all of that. So yeah, it's been all right.
Well, we thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. One last time, Jaide Steps on Instagram. Anything else you want to plug? We all about Black businesses here.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just follow me on Jaide Steps on Instagram. I'm always doing different like giveaways and just all that kind of stuff. So, interact with me there, follow me, all that good stuff.
And do me a favor.
Wedding photos.
Do me a favor. Tell your grandmother if she wants to go get tatted at, I'll go with her.
Corey, I'm not telling her that.
I'm ready to step with her into this tattoo salon. I'm about it.
I'll let her know, Corey.
She's a nut. Well, we love you, Jaide. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, love you guys too. Thank you so much. And thank you for doing this. This is such a cool platform. So thank you so much.
Thank you. We're bringing the culture. Thanks for bringing the culture today.
Yes, for sure.
Track has so many amazing personalities, and y'all don't even know.
That's
and they have so many amazing stories, and they're doing so many dope things.
The people, not we'll talk about their performances, but we want to highlight the people.
And Jade is like the sweetest, like most graceful person.
On the fact that I didn't know that was your mama, but
I was like, she is in the bloodline.
All right, Jaide. Bye. Thank you.
All right, bye, y'all. Have a good one.